Shalom and good morning. I first like to give honors to our Father in heaven, who is YAHUAH. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I also like to give my homage to his son, Yahusha HaMashiach, who is the Messiah, known as the Anointed One and the second Adam. And my respects to the Ruach HaKodesh, excuse my voice, y'all. For the Ruach HaKodesh is the glory of YAH and the beauty of YAH, known as the spirit of wisdom. And what else I was thinking about the Ruach? And it's the 7 eyes and 7 spirits of YAHUAH that Messiah possessed. Read the prophet Isaiah writings in chapter 11, okay, as well as the gospel. For you will see why he is known as the fountain of many waters. Look at the meaning of the Hebrew letters in his name, and then you'll see how all these things tie together. Excuse me, y'all. And good morning. As well as I like to bid a shalom to the bride of the Messiah, to the 144,000, and to the nation of Israel. So I have a very interesting word for you today. For those who keep a record of time, when I say keep a record of time, they are keeping a record of Yahuwah's calendar and his timeline. Because as the Messiah prophesies unto us, we shall know the season of his coming, even though we will not know the day and hour, but we would know the season. In other words, we would know the day from Adam when this would be. Okay, so I'm giving you another nugget, another thing to add to your records, my brothers and sisters who are keeping a record of time. However, I want to open up with a biblical verse. I just want you to listen as you focus on the picture that you see before you. The biblical verse for today I want you to focus on is from Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 27. This is also known as Ben Sirach, also known as the son of Sirach. It goes on to say, a wise man with fear in everything, and in the days of sinning, he will be aware of offense, but a fool will not observe time. So that is your word for today, or your scripture for today, to understand why it's so important for us to keep time or record of it. If not, you can be caught off guard, and the thief will have the upper hand. Again, understand the parable that the Messiah gave unto us about the thief. Okay, so now you see a picture of a remain of a giant. This is true. There are many evidence that archaeologists have found remains of the giants in the earth. Okay, also in the continent of North America and South America, this is the land that my people call either Turtle Island, or they call it Osiris, which means another land. That was a biblical prophecy that it will be given unto them. And you can read about that in the book of Deuteronomy. I believe it's the last chapter or the next to the last chapter. But that was a biblical prophecy that Ephraim will lead his people over to this new land that the Europeans are ruling today now. But you will find even in their history, they also too fought against the giants. Now, this has been covered up information, because when you understand that the giants are real, then you begin to understand that the Bible is true. Then you understand what they are hiding from you, Adam. There is another party involved that caused Adam to fall. Okay? You need to understand who your enemy is. Once you understand that, then you understand what the book of Ephesians is telling us. It's telling us that we are dealing with more than just flesh and blood, y'all. We are dealing with principalities. Okay? So I remember coming across either an article or a video saying that in the land of America, they found these giants remain, and they was kind of like mummified, and they had red hair. And the reason why I'm emphasizing red hair, because as Daniel said unto us, he prophesied unto us that they shall mingle themselves with mankind. So yes, these principalities does have a physical seed or physical children in the earth. This is why the Father has given us the prophets to be a witness unto us, to let us know who we are dealing with. As the Messiah say, we have the prophets. So if you reject that, then you're going to be blind and lost and set on a path of death and destruction. Okay. Also, check the video description box for the links and also for YAHUAH prophetic message. For our Father in heaven has spoken as prophesied in Joel chapter 2 and Acts chapter 2. He is also confirming of the season that we are in, so you can prepare yourself. Okay. Now let us change screens because we're going to get right straight to the point. Another screen I would like to share with you. Like I said, just do a Google search. Okay. And I'm aware of what these so-called camps, churches, assemblies, and organization will tell you otherwise. But y'all, we got too much evidence out here confirming these things. Just take a look. We got too much evidence, y'all, confirming these things. These things are not full of shop, y'all. Okay? Remember, the governments of this world hides many things from Adam as well as from the Israelites. They don't want you to know the truth, because when you truly receive the truth, it will wake you up, set you free, and you begin to realize that Bible is real. That Bible is true. See, the ultimate goal of the powers of darkness is that they want you to join them in Sheol. Do you hear me? They want you to join them in Sheol. Look at these swords over here. Let me see. See how big these swords are. Even in the Egyptian hieroglyphics, they have paintings of the giants. Okay? All right. So misery loves company. See, they already know what their judgment is. So they want to take with them what the Most High loved dearly, what bear his image, which is us. Okay. This is why they have removed the books of Enoch, the first, second, and third book. Okay. This is why you hear the Roman Christianity church may speak against them. Well, may speak against these books that they remove, because they serve these principalities, y'all. These principalities has given them a false hope that they will win the battle against Yah and Yahushua. That's what these principalities have done, y'all. Something to really think about. So the question you need to ask yourself now, how did these giants get back in the earth? Because we know the purpose of the flood was to take them out. Okay? And Shalom says, we know the purpose of the flood was to what? To take them out. So what? A new beginning can come forth, and so that Adam can start all over again. Okay? Because when we go to the book of Numbers, let's go there now, because we need to set the foundation before I give you what an Israelite say. So we're going to an Israelite writing to find out why this is so. Okay? But let us first go to the book of Numbers. Numbers chapter 13. Let me start with the Bible summary first, and then we go straight to the verse. The names of the men who were sent to search the land, their instructions, their acts, their relation. Okay, Numbers chapter 13 from the King James 1611, from the King James 1611 Bible version. We are going to verse, let me see here. And I want you to pay attention to the tribes that's mentioned in Numbers chapter 10, dealing with the Canaanites. Okay, I do want to point this out because you're going to see this again. It's very important to understand this because I'm giving you a nugget. I'm giving you where I'm sharing you with information that can help you connect the dots. Okay, notice that the Amalekites are mentioned, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites. Let me see who else. Notice these tribes that dwell in the land of Canaan. Now, when you do further research, it was actually supposed to be given to Shem, okay? But the children of Canaan went into that land and took it over. So you can get the history of that in the book of Jubilees. Jubilees give you a lot of good history, y'all, to help you connect these points together. Then you understand what. Then you understand Yah's judgment upon them. Why He will allow the nation of Israel to kill men, women, children, their beasts as well. Okay, because then you will get more insight of the righteous judgment of Yah. So you won't be coming in with a Gentile way of thinking, because you know the Gentile has been teaching us their doctrines, their ways that comes from Satan, y'all. Okay, we got to come out of the ways of the heathens. Also, what else I was going to say about their teachings? We got to come out of democracy. It's like I said, they have fancy words for their doctrine. We have to come out of democracy and embrace what Yah has set for us since the beginning, before the foundation of the world. Okay? These are all man's doctrine. Democracy, what's another word that government, when one, like a dictatorship, all their different terms for their different types of government comes from Satan himself and those principalities. So this is, like I said, when you go through the feast, the first step as a born again believer, when you enter into the new covenant, you must become like unleavened bread and allow the Father to reteach you through His Holy Spirit that He has given unto us. Okay? Because if you don't do that, you won't be able to connect the dots and you won't be able to see what's really before you. You can be still in darkness and not in the light. Okay, so write down these tribes. Go ahead and get your pencil and your paper and write this down. Notice that these tribes are mentioned: the Amalekites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites. And when we chase their lineage, we know they are the children of Canaan, and we know Canaan is the son of Ham. Okay, very important to know. Remember Genesis chapter 9 and Genesis chapter 10, as well as the work of Josephus. Okay. There we go. Okay. I want to start reading at let's start reading at verse 26 and end with verse 33. Okay. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. So, we all know the story of this. They sent out spies to spy the land before they would go in the land, because the plan was to take over the land of Canaan. Okay, so they sent spies out, and notice that these spies went to the wilderness of Paran all the way up to Kadesh. That's how far they went. Okay, and they also brought back fruit of the land, and one of the fruits you want to look at is the grapes. Again, what is the season that grapes is ripened? Summertime. So it gives you an idea when they did this. They did this between the 4th and the 5th month. Okay. Go back and read the whole chapter of Numbers 13. But let us keep on reading. And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. So we know the land was very bountiful. It was very productive. That's what it means to overflow with milk and honey. That means you will never go lacking. You will never be hungry. Okay? Because the earth produced greatly in that land. Verse 28, nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Now, you want to underline that because you will find that the children of Anak is tied in with the giants. Okay? When you do more research. So as we see that when the spies spied out the land, they see that their cities, not cities. I can't say the word, y'all. Okay, you would see that their cities was greatly protected, okay, was strongly built because of a wall, okay, and that the people that dwell in the land was very strong. So in other words, according to their report, they couldn't see that they could easily take them down. All right. So in other words, they was coming across an opponent that could not be defeated easily. Okay, according to their report. Verse 29, and the Amalekites dwelt in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwelt in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwelt by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. So we get an idea where these tribes dwelt in the times of antiquity. So the Amalekites dwelt in the land of the south. Then you have the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. Okay. And the Canaanites and the rest of the Canaanites dwelt by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. Okay. Verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Now notice this. Let me keep reading, y'all. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. Now, Caleb understood the Most High Yah. He understood that he was a great power. And as long as you have that great power backing up a nation of people, who can defeat them? See, Caleb understood that because he has what? Faith. Now, Caleb saw all his signs and wonders, but yet our ancestors, do you hear me, Israelite, didn't make the connection. Do y'all see this? Kind of like in this time now, even though we have not entered into that season of the great signs and wonders, but Yah has given us plenty of proof and evidence in the heavens and the earth to let us know who he is. And through that and through his word, we should believe that all is taken care of. So in other words, we should have trust and faith and believe in him and in his word. However, that's not the case with Adam and with the nation Israel. This is why he told the prophets to prophesy this. He said, in that day, he will let them know who he is. He will also let them know he is the God who delivered his people out of the land of the north. He will also let Israel know who he is, the great I am, before he let the world know who they are. Read Ezekiel chapter, I believe it's chapter 30. Okay, read chapter 38 and chapter 39, and you will see that. So in other words, history repeated itself, just like he proved himself in the ancient days of the Egyptian. Because remember what Jethro said to Moses, I heard what happened in Egypt. Well, the same is now. Okay. And this time it's on a worldwide level. The whole world will know who he is, and they will know who his people is. Okay. Verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they have searched, unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. Underline that in your book, men of great stature, because the next verse is going to give us the understanding of the meaning of how great in stature they are. Okay. Verse 33. And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak. My papa said, is it Anak? Forgive me for my mispronunciation, y'all. So when we start again. And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So it's telling you, y'all, the Israelites was very tiny to these men of great stature. And notice that it's giving us a little history. It's giving us about their bloodline. It said these men of great stature comes from these giants. So they are the children of the giants. Okay. But how can this be when we had the flood? This is a good question to ask. All right. Pause your screen to get the side notes and the precepts to Numbers chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13. Again, this is a very important piece of information to add to YAHUAH's timeline and his calendar for those who are keeping a record of these things. Okay. Now we're going to change screens. Let me first check out these comments, because some people in here are being very rude first, because I'm not playing. Okay, you got to go. Oh, thank you for offering yourself as a moderator. Thank you. All right. Now, and as you see, this is proof and evidence, y'all. This is what the children of Satan does, or the power of darkness does, when they know a servant of the Most High is speaking. Okay, when they know a servant of the Most High is speaking, that's what they do. They come in here to bring distraction, to bring confusion. All they do is giving me more proof and evidence. But let us continue. All right, we shall go to an Israelite book, okay, that the Gentiles been holding on to, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you something about this book. What happened in the Roman Christianity also happened in this another religious group. Okay, so do not get caught up with the word. Okay, I tell people first, read the book. Remember, these was in the hands of the Gentiles, so we know what the Gentiles would do. Okay, but read the book first before making an assumption, before making a judgment. Same thing with the Bible. We know what these heathens did. Okay, however, through the Spirit of Yah, he shall what lead you to all truth. This is what they could not change into his sacred book, even though they tried to, but they didn't. Okay, so in other words, what I'm saying to you, his truth will still come forth through all these sacred books that was given unto the prophets as well as unto the Israelites. Okay, so let us proceed. All right, let me see here. Now, this is the book I'm talking about. Now, this book is not what you're thinking. It is not the book of the Mormon. You know, that book that you see the Mormons carrying around, giving to people. This is a different book. Okay, but it's dealing with the same Israelite who was given the authority to write these writings. Okay, remember about going from Hebrew to Greek to Latin to Old English and to modern English. So please do not run with words. Take the time out to research before you assume. Allow the Holy Spirit of Yah to teach you, okay? Because what they learned about these sacred books, and remember, the Jews of Ethiopia have all these sacred books before you have the Romans taking it out and before you have the Protestants taking it out. However, when we're dealing with this book here, this is what was given unto the northern kingdom, okay, unto the 10 lost tribe of Israel. These are the books they had when they was over in the what we call the New World, but my people call it Turtle Island or Osiris, and Osiris means another land. Okay, so please, y'all, I'm asking you, please read before making any assumption. Compare it to the Bible, compare it to the other books. Okay, now we're going to the section dealing with the books that Moses wrote. Yes, the lost tribe, where the 10 lost tribe of the northern kingdom was given access of the books of Moses to take with them to the new land before the way before the destruction of Jerusalem. This was somewhere in the time period of King Josiah. Okay, we had an Israelite from his kingdom to get these sacred books to take it to the northern kingdom known as the 10 lost tribe of Israel. All right. And this book gives the history of all that so you can connect the dots. And you will also get the true understanding why King Josiah mourned and grieved himself when he heard what was written in these books. Okay. But today we're going to chapter 14, dealing with the part of Moses. These are the books of Moses. So this is known as the sealed Book of Mormon. Now, the person that was given authority to translate the plates, he is no longer a member of the Church of Mormon because he saw them for who they really are. Again, all this history, well, it's not in this book. You have to Google it. But what the Father is telling unto us Israelites and Gentiles, he will use whomever to get his truth out. Okay? And those who are righteous or who are his children will recognize game. In other words, the one who was given authority to translate the plates recognized the game of the Church of Mormon that is under the reign of the Gentiles. This is why he separated himself from them. Okay, so that's what I'm telling y'all. Please don't get caught up with the title of the book. Remember, we are in the Gentile kingdom, and they would take our Hebrew names and change them into more of an English name or a Greek name or a Latin name. Okay. All right. I'm trying to find a section with the index so you can see what I'm talking about. There's 3 parts to this book here. Okay. This is part 1. You have the words of Moroni. Okay. So let me get to the part that I need to get to. Let me see. I'm just going to type in a page number to see where it takes me at. Because we're going, oh, I'm way ahead. We're going to page 86. But I want to show you, okay, I'm just going to do off the top of my head, y'all, so we can save time. There are 3 books within this book. You have the words of Moroni. He is a descendant of the Israelite who brought these books over to the northern kingdom. Okay. He gives you that. He gives you his pedigree in that book. Then the second book is the books that Moses wrote. And then the third book is the books of the 3 Nephi. Okay. Now we are in chapter 14 on page 86. Chapter 14 on page 86. So let me scroll up a little bit higher. I want you to see the summary of this chapter. For it says the story of Moses after he left Egypt. So this is dealing with the time when he left Egypt. Okay. And we're going to verse 11. Verse 11. And we're going to read down to verse 13. And just to give you bring you up to date, when I say when he left Egypt, this is the time. Remember, he left Egypt because of what he did to the Egyptian soldier. He was fleeing for his life. So this is the time period that we in dealing with Moses. And this is when the Father is speaking to Moses. Okay. So verse 11. Let me bring this down just a little bit. This is when Moses is on Mount Sinai talking to him. And YAHUAH said, or highlight this so y'all can see where I'm at. And YAHUAH said, obviously, I have seen the affliction of my people in the land of Egypt, and I heard their cry because of the oppression of those who forced them to work. For I know their pains, And for this reason, I am coming down to deliver my people of the oppressive hand of Pharaoh and lead them to a good and spacious land. You want to underline that because history is going to repeat itself. What happened in the days before the flood? Did not the cries of the men ascend to heaven before the Father brought the first judgment in the earth, which is the flood? Okay, because we know the next judgment to come after that is fire. Then the judgment to come after that is the eternal judgment, which is the lake of fire. Okay, so the same thing is going to happen again, which we are in now. They are afflicting Zion. They are afflicting Hebrews. As the prophet Isaiah prophesies, I think it was in Isaiah chapter 56, I believe, dealing with the cup of the wrath that he gave Israel to drink. But now he's taking that cup away from Israel and he's given unto the nation of this world to drink. Paul is not playing. He's a righteous judge. So as it is written in Galatians chapter 5, that a man sow, that a man reap. As it's written in Revelation chapter 13, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That is talking about those souls will be cast into Sheol, and those souls that are in Sheol, or those who was cast into Sheol, shall be placed in the eternal lake of fire. You shall remain in a constant state of death, pains, and torments, and you shall be with those principalities. You shall join them in their fate. That's what it means to be in captivity. Again, that'll be another video on that to give you more insight. What is the meaning of captivity? Because since our father Adam fell, we have been in captivity, and to come out of it, you must receive the salvation and the righteousness of YAH. Very important. Okay? In order to come out of captivity, so when he comes, he shall deliver you from this world of darkness, when he send out the command for the eagle wings to be dispersed. And they will gather his elect from the four corners of the earth. Okay? Let us continue to read. A land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, and of the Hittites, and of the Amorites, and of the Perizzites, and of the Hivites, and of the Jebusites. Now, did we not read about these same tribes in Numbers 13? Okay. So the fathers tell Moses, I'm giving you the land of Canaan, which is actually not their land. It is the land that was given to Shem. And we know the Israelites are a descendant of Shem. Okay. Soon you begin to understand the biblical prophecy, what it means that Japheth said dwell in the tents of Shem. Okay. Because those who are claiming to be Jews are not. They are the sons of Japheth. They are the sons of Esau. And they are the sons of this unknown ancient nation. It's in the book, Deuteronomy 28. And the prophets talk about this unknown ancient nation. Even Josephus will give you proof that we didn't know them when you read the pedigrees of the nations. Because the Israelites was very familiar of the pedigrees of the nations in the earth. But this unknown ancient nation, they were not. Okay. Let us continue to read. These are those tribes who have been infected in your progeny by Anakiel and his rebellious angels. Now, those who have a copy, now the PDF of this book is in the video description box, so you can print this out. But you want to underline that. It's giving you a very important piece of information that's going to give us the answer to the title. Giants in Numbers chapter 13, after the flood. How is this possible? Well, it's telling us. It said, these are those tribes. So these tribes who have been infected in your progeny by Anakiel and his rebellious angels. So this angel, Anakiel, and those who have joined with this angel, they have mingled themselves with the tribes of Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites and the Jebusites. So they mingle themselves. This as Daniel prophesied. He said they should mingle themselves with the seed of mankind. Now you begin to understand who is the iron, who is the clay. The iron is the angels, the clay is Adam. Okay? They do have a physical seed of children in this earth, y'all. And they are not Adam. In other words, they are not human. Okay? Let us continue to read. Before they were all thrown into prison, when they made a pact with Satan on Mount Hermon, just after the waters of the flood to dry. So now we got an important piece of information to put on the timeline. So these angels did this wicked act because there's a law in heaven that angels are not to do this because they are eternal beings. Read First Enoch. He gives you the law that the angels broken. Okay, so we notice that this took place. Okay, they did this before they were thrown into prison. Okay, so they did this during the time when they made a pact with Satan on Mount Hermon, just after the waters of the flood to dry. So they did this following after the flood. Because when we look at Genesis 10, we know the children of Ham do not come forth until after the flood. Do y'all hear this? So these angels start mixing with the children of Ham, and these are their tribes. Please get the tribes correct. Make sure you got the correct tribes now. They started mixing with the children of Ham, who are the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. They started mixing with them after the flood, okay, and before they was thrown into prison. Now, to understand what that prison is, we got to go to the book of Jude, the book of Peter's. Also, this same book here would give you the prison and the prophet Enoch writings in his first and second book. It tells you what their prison is. So now you have the answer of why we started seeing giants and their children too. Because remember, this is what the Israelites saw in the land of Canaan when they spied it out. They saw the children of the giants. Okay. Now you begin to understand why the Father allowed them to kill every man, woman, and child, even beast, because they was infected with the fallen angels. In other words, infected with the fallen angels' DNA. Because that would change you from being Adam, for being a son of God. Again, you got to know who Adam is. Let us keep reading. But let me check the comments right quick before we proceed. Okay, gonna take you out. Bye. Shalom. Yes. And you know, the devil don't like the truth. As my grandma would say, you know, a lie go fine by. But here come the truth, cleaning up the lie mess. But let us keep going. We got to read verse 12 before we go to the book of Jude, the book of Peter's. And if we have time, we may go to the sealed book. But there's a video on the channel that gives you more insight about their prison. It's under the mystery of the scapegoat, and the picture of that scapegoat is in red. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to go to my channel and show it to you so you can get, you know, the complete version of this picture. But right now I'm just giving you a highlight so you have the answer of why we started seeing giants again. And the Father is also reminding me, even the days of David, did he not fight a giant who was Goliath? And one of the traits of their children that they have 6 fingers on their hands and 6 toes. Do a word search in the Bible, you will see it. That's one of their characteristics. Is going with their trait of being very, very tall. Okay, so they will have 6 fingers on their hand and 6 toes on their foot. Okay. And they will also be very tall in nature. But the giants that the Israelites saw when they were spying the land, these giants was great in height, to the point where the Israelites look like grasshoppers. So imagine a grasshopper standing beside you. This is how big these giants were. Now you begin to see why those who did not have faith in Yah, why they feared these giants. But those who have faith in Yah know that no matter how tall you are, like they said, you will come tumbling down. Because we know for giants, what? You get them at the knees. They will fall. Okay. Verse 12. We're going to start here. For this reason, I will exterminate the seed of the tribes that dwell in the land of your inheritance. So this is giving you proof that will go along with the book of Jubilees that the land of Canaan was not given unto the Canaanites. It was originally given unto the children of Israel because they are the descendant of Shem. Okay. You read this part again. For this reason, I will exterminate the seed of the tribes that dwell in the land of your inheritance. And behold, thou people Moses shall return to Mount Zion, which is under the dominion of the Amorites, who were installed at the command of Satan. When they arrived in this land and found the pillar of the city of Enoch, which remained after the floods. Now we're going to pause there, but y'all, it's giving us a lot of juicy information. Again, it's helping you to line up on Yah creation timeline to see how these events fall into place. So now we are seeing how everything's connected. Where the city of Enoch used to dwell, this is where Mount Zion is. And we see that the children of Satan immediately inhabited that holy sacred place. Now, also what you'll learn too, another proof is in Deuteronomy chapter 4. This is where you see that the Most High has given the Gentile nation over to Satan and these angels known as principalities. And the Most High made himself the leader over the nation of Israel. This is why we are his inheritance. Now, don't get this, don't stop tripping, Gentiles. You have to understand the history. Your forefathers rejected the Most High. Everyone was taught the ways of the Most High, even before the flood and even after flood. Noah taught all his sons. They knew of the ways of the Most High, but they rejected him. So therefore, because they rejected him, he gave them what they want. He turned them over unto Satan and those principalities. Read Deuteronomy chapter 4. And also the Apocrypha will confirm this. Jubilees will confirm this. The book of Enoch, like first, second book, will confirm this. I mean, it's so much evidence there. So Gentile, do not trip. Know the history of things, because remember, the truth is going to set you free. Then you understand why the Most High favor a certain lineage. Okay. So you won't, in other words, I'm giving you this information, Gentiles, because it's time to come out of the ways of being envious and jealous over the Israelites. Okay. The Father, okay, how can I say this? When you understand about spirits. When you allow the spirit of jealousy and envy to come in your heart, it will blind you and lead you back into darkness and out of the light. But when you know the truth of the situation of what your forefathers did, then you will accept Yah's decision. Then you will accept Yah's judgment. Now remember, he has an inheritance for you as well. This is why he has given us the prophets, so you can know what is your inheritance. Okay? Israelites, stop tripping. They do. They have an inheritance too. Remember, our Father is a righteous God, and he is no respecter of person. Those who come to worship him, to serve him, he does recompense them according to their heart, their faith, and their works. But it's time to embrace truth so you can be set free. And this is the only way that you can cast out the spirit of envy. This is the only way you can cast out the spirit of jealousy. Do you hear me, Israelites and Gentiles? It's time to stop falling for the stumbling blocks of Satan and for his snares. Okay, to wrap this up, we're going to go to the book of Jude. And the reason why I'm going there, y'all, because we have many Israelites, even some Gentiles too, y'all, that reject the other books. But when you put all these books together, you will see they line up. They do not contradict one another. Again, remember, with some of these books, the Gentiles have done some translations. So even through the spirit of truth, it will give you what is the correct translation. Okay? So please do not be turned away from these books. These books are given for your edification, Israelites and Gentiles, so you will not be deceived by the powers of darkness. So let's first go to the book of Jude. Which is verse 6 that most people know. For it says here, and the angels were kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He have reserved an everlasting change under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Now, with these angels are dealing with the sons of heaven. Okay, the sons of heaven, such as Azazel, and then we learn of another angel named Anakiel. Okay, so these angels left the heavens, okay, came down to earth and brought wickedness with them and caused Adam to sin. All right. So here it goes on to say that he is keeping them in everlasting change of the darkness. So they are buried under the earth and they will remain there until the judgment of the great day. Those who keep a record of time, their judgment day is in the 70th generation, which is the 10th day of Adam, which is the 10th week of Enoch's prophecy, and which is the 15th day from creation. That's when they're going to get their final judgment. These angels, okay, that did this wickedness. So in verse 6, you can see another word for angel is principality. Principality. Okay. Now we're going to go to the book of Peter's. Oh, hold on. I got to find my notes on that one so I can take you to the right verse. As I'm going to the book of Peter's, check the video description box because I give you the book of Enoch. I give you the book of the sealed book of Mormon, so you can have, while we have time, print these things out. Okay. So you can have for further studies. And then search the scriptures out with dealing with the giants, from the Old Testament to the Apocrypha to the New Testament. Also search the scriptures out that talks about these angels' judgments. Okay. And then you connect the dots and see the bigger picture. Then you will understand the prophecy that was given unto Daniel, and we will go to that so you can have for your notes. And then you understand what Daniel is talking about. Then you understand what is in Deuteronomy 28 about this unknown ancient nation. They've been doing this for a long time, y'all, blending in with us, mingling with us to look like us, but they're not us. Do you hear me, Adam? Okay, I'm almost there, y'all. Let me just do a word search. I can get there faster. Trying to remember. I think Peter's, is it before Hebrews? No, it's after. Okay, so it's in 2 Peter's chapter 2. 2 Peter's chapter 2. And let me share my screen. Second Peter's chapter 2 on the King James 6:11. We're gonna read the Bible summary first. It says, he foretelleth them of false teachers, showing the impiety and punishment both of them and their followers, from which the godly shall be delivered, as Lot was out of Sodom. Y'all want to underline that, because just as the Father sent the angels from the heaven to deliver Lot and his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah, do you not think he's not going to do the same again? Okay. Something to really think about. Again, like I said, it's in the Torah, it's in the Tanakh, of what's going to happen again. Remember, our Father's the same. He does not change. Okay, let us go on to read. And more fully, oh, sorry, y'all. Father want me to remind you this. Remember, there are certain ones, too. He has given us example of those who have been taken as well. So go back and look at their testimonies, too. All right. And the Sealed Book of Mormon will give you more insight on that. Now let's go finish reading this Bible summary. And more fully describeth the manners of those profane and blasphemous seducers, whereby they may be the better known and avoid. Okay. So we're going to start reading. We're going to start from the top, but we're going to go down to this is a really good chapter, y'all. Y'all want to come back and read it. We're going to have to go down to 11. We're going to go down to 11, okay? Starting at verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord, Adonai, that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destructions. So these false teachers going to bring upon themselves swift destructions. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And through covetousness shall they with faint words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So these people will be great with their words, y'all. And they're going to convince you to give them your monies or to buy their merchandise. So they are bringing upon themselves judgment, and it's not going to be long for this judgment to come. For it says here, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not. It's not going to linger forever, y'all. It's coming. And it also go on to say that their damnation slumbereth not. It's not going to be asleep, y'all. It's coming. Verse 4. This is a verse you want to highlight when we're dealing with those angels that we just read about in the Sealed Book of Mormon. For if YAHUAH spare not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell, and deliver them into chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment. Do y'all hear this? Now we're getting a more deeper detail of that darkness that he has them bound in by change. This is what YAHUAH said, because you have to understand when the Father was creating his creations, when you study about the angels, you will learn that they are known as the sons of heaven. They are too the sons of God. They are made of what? Flame, fire. Okay, we are made of a clay. All right. And the Father has given a law in heaven that we was not to intermingle. But they did it anyway. They wrote the law. So because of their sins and transgressions, this is how we got giants in the earth. And when you study about these giants, they were very wicked, y'all. They did a lot of terrible things to Adam. Okay. So if YAHUAH spared not the angels that sin, so that just let you know he's not a respecter person. Okay. So we can see here the Father Chastise these angels. What make you think he won't do it to you, Adam? Okay. Who is of the earth. For if YAHUAH spare not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell, which is Sheol, which is in the Greek tongue, they say Hades. Read the work of Josephus. He talks about that place, y'all. So he cast them down to Sheol and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. What is that judgment day that the Father is talking about here? That's dealing with the second. Well, it's actually the third when we count all three judgment, which is the water, then come fire, then come the eternal judgment. So this judgment that it's talking about is dealing with the eternal judgment, where he's going to take them and cast them into the eternal lake of fire. And that will occur in the 70th generation. That's a date I'm giving to you for those who's keeping a record of time. Okay. It happens in the 10th day from Adam, which is the 10th week, which is the 10th week of Enoch's 10-week prophecy. And it's going to happen in the 15th day from creation. Okay. Again, when you learn about numbers like eights and stuff like that, we know that the beginning of a week or beginning of a week of creation marks as number 8, which represent new beginning, represent judgment. Judgment. Okay. Verse 5. And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bring in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So he also chastised Adam, who did not repent and come unto Noah to be saved. So you see, the Father is no respect of person. So he was chastising angels and he was chastising Adam. Okay. Verse 6. And the turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with the overthrown, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So even today we can see the remains of Sodom and Gomorrah. Josephus even talk about this to remind us, hey, Father ain't playing, and we know what Sodom and Gomorrah represent. They did all kinds of stuff, y'all. And one of the highlights of the sin was that mankind would be with mankind. They would be with the same sex or gender. And you see, YAHUAH didn't like that. He saw that as being abominable to him. So he left us the remain of Sodom and Gomorrah as an example unto us. Judgment is coming if you continue to live an ungodly life. Do y'all see this right here? Underline that. If you continue to live an ungodly life, you're going to receive the same fate. Because did not fire come out of heaven to destroy this city? All right. Verse 7. And deliver just Lot, vexed with 50 conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them in singing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So this man had to endure this mess, y'all. And this mess was tormenting his soul. So our Father in heaven had to send the angels. Remember, 3 came to Abraham, but the 2 went to Lot. And they instantly transported them out of the city. Go back and read the verses, you'll see it. So this is how I know the Father has a way of salvation for his people. But first you got to receive your ticket. What is the ticket, y'all? It's deal with being sealed in the blood of the Lamb. And the only way to get that is through receiving the new covenant, the covenant that Yahusha HaMashiach made for us. Now, don't get this confused with the eternal covenant to come to the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's a different covenant, y'all. Don't get it confused. Remember, coming the whole volume of the book now. Okay. Verse 9. YAHUAH know how to deliver the godly out of temptation. Y'all, this is good. And to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So in other words, the Father said, I got this, y'all. Y'all just keep enduring, bearing the fruit of long suffering, and you will see that joy will come in the morning. You will see your reward will come for bearing this fruit of long suffering. Because he said the wicked day is coming. I'm giving them enough rope to hang themselves. Remember, he is the master planner. So when you go in these sacred books, such as the book of Baruch, the first and second and third book, such as the King James 6 and 11 Bible that has the Apocrypha, such as the books of Enoch, first and second and third, such as the sealed book of Mormon, and all these other sacred books, it would give you the true understanding about the end and what is coming to the wicked, because all that they are doing unto the righteous is in vain, because they're going to receive their faith, and this will be eternal for them. See, our season is only short, y'all. We ain't got long, but what's coming unto them is eternal. So, in other words, he who lasts first will not have the last laugh. The righteous going to have the last wrath. And the wicked going to say, we were stupid and we were foolish, y'all. And look where we at. Let us keep going. Verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. And what government that's talking about, y'all? That's talking about Yahuwah's government. Despising his commandments, his judgments, his laws, his statute, which is the covenant. Remember what Revelation say? Those who keep his commandments are his. Okay? But the wicked going to despise that. They're going to despise his government, which is his covenant. All right, let me read this again. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Do you see that? They have no fear because they have no knowledge of the truth. They believe in the lies that these angels have given to them, y'all. And they're going to be greatly deceived. Verse 11. Whereas angels which are greater in power and might bring not really accusation against them before Yahuwah. So we have angels watching us, y'all, reporting unto the Father, letting the Father know of the transgression of these wicked ones. So that's what I'm telling you. Father's always watching. He sees all and he hears all. Okay. So let me take you to the channel so you can see that video that I'm talking about, so you can get the other part, so you can see the complete picture. We about, being the 9th month. So for 2 months ago, we was in the 7th month, and in the 7th month, the Father had revealed a lot of mysteries to share with y'all. Okay, and through those mysteries, it gave us more insight about these principalities, and it gave us insight about let me think, about where sin started. See, most people think sin started in the earth, but actually it started in the heaven. And a prophetess on YouTube had revealed that unto us. Her name is YAHUAH. Okay, she revealed that unto us. When you go back and you read these writings, it do make sense. Sin did start in the heaven with the angels first. So then they came down to the earth, and they brought that mess with them. Because like I said, misery love company. But the video that I'm talking about that would give you, let me see, can I get to it? I gotta go here. Bear with me, y'all. About there. That would give you more insight about these angels. Go to this video here. It's the mystery of atonement and tabernacles /Shekel part 4. And the subtitle of this video is why the scapegoat is named Azazel. Okay. And I can't remember if I have another part dealing with this angel, Azazel. It may be in part 8 as well. The mystery of the scapegoat entering into the wilderness and the great day. So those are the 2 videos on the channel that would give you insight of these things. And also the Father's reminding me, and I think in this one too as well, this 3rd video here titled Tabernacles Atonement Part 5, the mystery of the 2 goats in Leviticus chapter 16. It may touch a little bit on that. But the one that's going to get right to the meat is the one that's dealing with why the scapegoat is named Azazel. Okay? And what I do, I put this video link in the description box once everything processed and uploaded. So come back and check the video description box or the pinned comment section. All right, it's time for me to get off of here, y'all. Remember, my brothers and sisters, to continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is at hand. We can see the signs. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10. Have them follow those instructions. Make sure the people receive the baptism. Okay? If you don't have anyone to baptize you, you can do it yourself. Submerge yourself in water. For the water is the second witness in the earth. And remember, the Father poured his spirit upon all his creations. Okay? When you understand that mystery, you understand why they can report back unto him. Because the Messiah told us that if the Father will allow the rocks to speak, they will cry out and praise him. So that's another proof unto you that his spirit is in everywhere, in everything. Then you begin to understand that the kingdom is inside you and all around you. Go back to the Father prayer, because in the Father prayer, y'all, he said he is the kingdom. He is the power. He is the glory. Y'all, it's just heavy. But you begin to understand these spiritual things, begin to understand these heavenly things. Then you begin to understand why you, Adam, is a son of God. Go back to the beginning, before the fall. Then you begin to understand why the angels are his children too. And he just being a father. He's doing what a father do. He loves his children. But Father have his way on how he handled things. And he does it very well for the angels and for Adam, including the Israelites. All right. So if you have not received the water baptism, please do so. You don't have to wait for anybody to do it. Wherever there's water, you can be baptized, just as the Egyptian eunuch told us in the book of Acts. Remember, this is based on faith and works in your heart, and this is what the Father look at. Now, as far as the Holy Spirit baptism, you can receive that from the Father by asking him in the name of Yahusha Mashiach, and he would give it according to your heart, your faith, and your works. Remember, Father know all, and he does things in the right season and time. So be patient, but when he give it to you, be ready. Don't waste it. Okay? It's very powerful. All right. Love you all, and shalom.